Welcome back, guys, to the Nonpartisan Lounge. And I wanted to talk about today the partnership that was struck between the United States and Saudi Arabia. So here we have a map between Saudi Arabia and the USA. And what happened is that part of Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030, is that they want to diversify their portfolio or their country's investments and bring in more capital for specific projects, infrastructure, technology, AI, etc. And the relationship between the United States and Saudi Arabia is actually allowing that to happen. So the Trump administration, along with the Crown Prince, they were able to strike up a partnership between these two countries. And what that's going to do is actually going to help the United States, a lot of its corporations. So, for example, in Vision 2030, they want to improve their infrastructure. They want to bring in more tech, like AI. And they also want to bring in some retail. And the idea behind it is that if they're able to do that, that actually diversifies them quite a bit. And what that allows hedge funds and pension funds and other corporations to do in the US corps, is that they're able to invest into Saudi Arabia, bring capital in, and help them build out these particular projects. For the longest time, Saudi Arabia has relied upon oil. That was a lot of their number one export was oil. But the thing is that if they put all their eggs in one basket, obviously if the oil market goes down, if demand for oil declines, then obviously the money going in declines as well. But if they have a diversified portfolio or diversified trade, the idea is that not the United States corporations, they get a return. So hedge funds put in money, pensions put in money, other corporations and individuals can put in money. The idea is that it'll be a potential huge economic powerhouse between the two, because now you have this trade agreement, or I don't want to call it a trade agreement, this partnership between these two countries that allows for economic activity and growth. That's kind of it in a nutshell. We don't exactly know where it's going to go, but we'll see. However, there are political implications for this. Some of those political implications are quite complex. So you have part of it is Israel. Because there are F-35s being sold to Saudi Arabia from the United States, does this put into question the military powerhouse? Is Israel going to maintain that powerhouse in the Middle East? Time will tell. You have China, who they have their BRL, the Belt Road Initiative. And the idea is that if they can, in Southeast Asia and other parts of Asia, they were able to invest in infrastructure. And this infrastructure was able to get them returns on that investment. They were able to build power lines, power plants, roads, highways, etc. And so they were able to invest in this through this Belt Road Initiative, and China was able to do all that in some of these other countries. And as a return, it's kind of like a loan that, hey, we'll build a power plant for you. In exchange, you give us money or give us a return, and you give us a return on, we own the asset, and then you just pay us back. Russia, because they have a huge oil, their main relationship with Saudi Arabia is through OPEC+. And if you have a partnership now between the USA and Saudi Arabia, does this jeopardize their relationship in OPEC+? Does this hurt Russia's influence on oil? Again, time will tell. So they were cautious. Russia's watching this partnership very, very, very closely. And then another one is Iran. As far as Iran goes, if you see that Saudi Arabia and the US are getting closer, does that block out Iran's influence in the Middle East? A lot of countries are just kind of like, hey, Iran, kind of get your house in order. But at the same time, Tehran is trying to formulate diplomatic ties with a bunch of different countries. And is this partnership, is this going to force them even further into these other countries' arms? Is it going to force them to find other investments elsewhere? Does this, again, threaten their stability in the Middle East? Or is it going to, or are they going to play nice? Don't know. Additionally, another thing that I forgot to mention is Israel and the Palestinian state. Is Saudi Arabia, are they going to want a free Palestine or Palestinian state? The thing is that, again, we don't know, but nonetheless is that if this economic tie and these opportunities continue to present themselves and Saudi Arabia their economy begins to grow and their influence begins to grow, are they going to become the Middle East powerhouse? In conjunction and with a relationship between the US of A. Again, only time will tell, but I'm curious to know your thoughts. What are your thoughts on this partnership? Is it going to be a benefit to the US, or is it going to be a major disaster for the US and its allies? Is there going to be a Middle East stabilizer, or is it going to cause further instability in the Middle East? What are your thoughts? Feel free to leave a comment and let me know. Let's chit chat about it. And make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. I'd love to talk more about economics with you guys, and thanks for joining me in the Nonpartisan Lounge.